Like they showed May with her knives. Why didn't she just throw it? They were practicing archery.
They're trying to do it in a different way. And like at the end of the day, there's a reason that the creators of the cartoon left.
What up, party people? This is Pitbull, or at least a lookalike.
What a trap.
Welcome back to the podcast. Sorry we were absent last week. I think it's just going through a little bit of a change, so we're working on it, but we're here for Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, Netflix dish.
Yeah, I'm excited for this episode.
Cool. To be frank, we were going to do a one episode review last week.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, hey, this is episode one. This is what we're thinking. But since we skipped out on the potty last week, we are doing full review of the whole Netflix show.
Full one. So full on spoilers, everybody. If you haven't seen it,
Full on.
and this isn't just about the Netflix series because I'm sure we'll reference a cartoon. So yeah.
We will reference the Netflix series, maybe the movie, probably not though. The cartoon, some books, and maybe some other just fan theories. And also our last Avatar episode. Like, go watch that. That was actually a really good one.
Yeah, that was a really, really good one. I think it's like our third one too.
Yeah, it's probably top 5 of our episodes, not just in viewing,
It
but
was
in
actually
quality.
it was actually our second episode,
Oh, yes, we have a little catalog right here.
according to our wow nerd
Wow, that was
mugs.
our very second episode,
That is so cool,
which
huh?
means it's actually like our very first like nerdy episode.
Thanks, Janessa.
Clink. That's so cool.
All right, let's hop into it. First impressions,
Oh, this
go.
is a podcast. We're
Oh,
jumping into it.
what did I say?
Let's hop into it. We're not kangaroos.
Oh, so okay, so sorry. Wrong hemisphere. Okay, let's jump into it. First impressions, go.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna preface it like this. If we were doing just the first episode review, it would be glowing. I would be like, this is actually like really good. Like there's like minor details that I wish that they didn't. But like overall, like A minus, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But now having watched it all, ugh. Okay. I'm gonna steal another YouTuber's comments. I watched a YouTube video and I 100% agree.
Okay.
He said it's like eating a microwaved burrito. And here's the analogy in a nutshell because his video is 10 minutes long. The first couple, like so, like if you get your burrito, you know, the first bite is like usually pretty good. You know, it's like warm, you can taste it, it's good, you know. And but like as you progress towards the middle, then it's just like frozen and gross. But then like as you finish it off, you're reminded of how good it used to be, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still not as good as like that very first bite. That's how it is.
I would actually have to say I thought it was pretty good.
All of it.
I mean, obviously there's things that they could change. There's things that I didn't personally like, but I was talking to Preston today and I was like, they have to it's such a wide fan base that if they had to please every single fan, then like there'd be no way. There's absolutely no way every single fan is like absolutely perfect. And I read a TikTok comment that I 100% agree, and I think we sort of talked about it on our Fortnite night was if you take it for what it is without like, well, this was in the beginning or this is like what they missed, if you just take it for as is, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think I said B minus, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'd actually put it at like
That's
a
that's still a 4. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
oh, okay. Then yeah, I think I would do that with you. I might put it a little bit higher, maybe like
I
a
would actually
solid
probably put a
B.
little lower, like probably a 3.8 ish.
I think I'd
Okay,
put like a 4.2.
I'm going to defend myself here on my rating. It's because of the frozen middle. Hei Bei was such an important episode in the cartoon, and they just barely referenced Hei Bei.
Mm-hmm.
They made it some weird. I'm gonna go to my notes here. Like how I like okay. I put why are they pulling multiple seasons into this one? Swamp and Hei Bei, come on, and the fog is from Korra.
Yeah.
They're pulling there's such a large lore like base to Avatar, and like I feel like they're trying to pull it all in. But like if you think about why we love Avatar, it's the little trickles of lore we've gotten, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I've been watching some like YouTube videos about it, and like it's just kind of refreshing that like what I think a lot of the YouTubers are also thinking, where like there's no justice for Hei Bei, but the best change was making Zuko's crew the 41st Division.
Yeah.
And like I think that's really cool. But I'm just so mad that I feel like the Hei Bei story should have been done just as the Hei Bei story.
I do feel like Aang's spiritualness, while they like tried to highlight it, it made him seem almost novice in it. Like, obviously, he doesn't know who the spirits are and like what the spirits do, but like, it made him seem like a toddler bumbling around and other people explaining to him what the spirit world was. And as an airbender, he would have known more about the spirit world. So that part
Yeah.
I'm not like, although I will say they sufficiently creep me out with Ko.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. They actually kind of nerfed Ko. Yeah, he's creepy AF in it,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of nerfed him. Well, like there wasn't any urgency for Aang to like not make faces, to not have emotion.
Which I wish they would have done because like his like little eyebrows are going everywhere. And I was like, no,
Yeah,
yeah, I was so worried for his little eyebrows because I guess if you haven't seen it, like he can't make expressions in like the cartoon. So,
yeah.
ooh,
I don't know. The vibe I get from it largely is that they tried jam packing it with just so much. I don't want to say fan service because it's not really fan service, but it's like they wanted to bring as much of what people love about Avatar into this one season as they could. But I think that was actually a disservice. Like I don't think they needed the secret tunnel.
they didn't need leaves from the vine. As much as I love it, they didn't need it.
I will say it was super subtle when Iroh was in prison and at Omashu. It was like
Mm-hmm.
really subtle in the background. Like it was obviously like way bigger when they were showing Lu Ten's story, but it was really subtle when he was in the prison, and I really appreciated it then. But like later on, when it was just like a big motif, I was like, okay, well, there it is.
Well, I think Preston watching it with him because he's seen the cartoons growing up, but not all the way through. So it was sort of fun to watch it with him because like he doesn't know the premise of it very well. So he was like coming from his perspective, he actually really enjoyed the live action. He was like, there's a lot of really cool shots. Oh, the music is really good. Like he genuinely enjoyed it from like a non cartoon perspective. And like it's sort of cool to see it from that side. I'm hoping that if because they brought in so much lore from the later seasons, that it'll give them time to maybe like slip in new things that we appreciate. Like it would sort of be nice if they when they focus on Azula to maybe like see like a flashback of Azula like and her mom and maybe like that relationship or maybe how she became friends with May and Ty Lee. Like if they were able to add that in that series, which I know aren't in the cartoons either, like the not the cartoons, the graphic novels, like that's not in there either. So I think like if they move forward with this series, which it hasn't been officially renewed, right?
I don't think so.
So if they move forward with it, that's what I would like to see. If they've taken stuff from the second season, then just go ahead and put it in with more stuff that we would potentially like.
But like, here's the thing: do we need them to add stuff, or did we just want it to be a live action cartoon?
I think part of us wanted like nuggets. Like you said, I don't know, you said it so well that the lore is so wide that when we get like a sliver of nugget of like a sliver of that lore, we just hold on to it, you know?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're not giving us slivers; they're fire hosing us with the lore.
Well, yeah.
Like I don't know, especially when you okay, when you look at book two, that one is the biggest just filler episode season.
Hmm.
Why not add all your extra stuff in book two? Why not do book one so well that everyone just absolutely loves it, just giving it straight praise, and then do your different stuff in book two?
I think it's just so hard though. Because like if I were to rate the cartoons, it like just the Avatar series, 5 out of 5. So how do you make perfect more perfect, you know?
Yeah, but you don't have to make perfect more perfect. Like, okay, like if we okay, I'm just gonna kind of go episode by episode, you know?
Okay.
So episode one, I really liked episode one. You know, things that I didn't like about it were just minor things like, oh man, they didn't have Sokka try to figure out yip yip, you know?
Hmm.
And like it's not super clear if Katara busted open the iceberg or not. Like that's not as clear as it was in the cartoon,
Yeah.
you know? But like other than that, like it's there's okay, Aang flying around. That is kind of weird, but he is just gliding. Like I think it's kosher personally.
I think it's fine. I think people are looking for things to be mad at.
Yeah. Like when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, okay," but it's not Zahir level. Like he's not just sitting there floating.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, I can get over it. Um, I was a little bummed that they didn't have Gyatso just wrecking so many firebenders.
Yeah, I was hoping. I mean, based on the fact that they showed like somebody just get burned alive, I was hoping that they'd show Gyatso be like, you know,
Yeah, or something. Because I mean, he had at least 20 dead firebenders around him when Aang found him
yeah.
in the cartoon, but in this one, there's just one skeleton in the entire place.
I was a little bit upset that like they didn't really show Aang wanting to do like the penguin slides, the penguin sledding.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen though, because they already said that they were getting rid of Aang's like goofy nature, basically.
Yeah, which I saw a picture, a behind the scenes picture. Um, in the cartoon, there's a picture of Aang with Gyatso, and it's him with like his like floaty little balls, and he's like making a gesture in front of Gyatso, and he's like like showing his playful side. Well, Gordon, the actor who plays Aang, and the guy who plays Gyatso, I don't know his real name. They recreated that photo like during like an in between scene.
Oh,
Like they
cool.
just decided to do it, and it looks so good. Like it looks so funny. But there's like people from like the cast and crew behind, so it doesn't look like 100%. But I was like, why did it looks like that kid Gordon wanted to do that funny side, and like he's a pretty cheesy actor. Like obviously, there's like times where I'm like, oh, buddy, your eyebrows are just going crazy. Like you can just take a breath. It's okay. Like, but I think like letting a kid be a kid, especially as like a child actor, helps them a lot. So I wonder if season two is going to be a filler, then like it would be nice to maybe see more of those like playful episodes.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I feel like they just like want to do their own thing. Like, when push comes to shove, like in this one, like that we got so much Ozai and so much Azula.
Oh
Like,
yeah, a lot.
so it's like the runtime of this is like almost exactly the same as the cartoon. So to add all that in, you've got to get rid of so much stuff from the cartoon. But then not
Hmm.
only that, to bring in other stuff from Korra, from the books, from season two. like you're just getting rid of more stuff from book one. And I think that's really where my like angst is with it. Angst is
Mhm.
AANGST.
So good.
Thanks. But yeah, like it's just like why not just stick to book one? Like you can reshuffle things around. Like I mean, I at first I was actually bothered that the inventor was in Omashu and that Jet was
Instead
in
of just
Omashu.
instead of in the temple.
Yeah, like it bugged me, but like at the end of the day, it's like I mean, it kind of worked, you know? It's like, I mean, it wasn't my favorite episode, but like if I'm going to jam a bunch of episodes together, like, yeah, that kind of works. And like mixing the storm with the mask,
Hmm.
the blue spirit with the storm episode,
Hmm.
I think that one was really good.
Yeah.
So like I'm not saying that like I wanted it to be one and one for one. I didn't want it to be how John Favreau did Lion King.
Yeah, because that was insanely boring.
Yeah. The only change he made was getting rid of be prepared for a like slam poetry. Come on.
Yeah, but did you know that that's a Broadway thing?
Did you know I don't care?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not original. He took it from Broadway. Anyway, I digress. I think one of the biggest things right off the bat that was a little bit like, oh, they could have done better on that is Zuko's scar.
Oh yeah.
It just looks like makeup. And I know that it's so hard because, like, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of opinions on it, but it would have been nice to actually like have like a legitimate burn scar,
Mm-hmm.
like there's no way a burn scar heals so good. Like, look at his eyelid. Like, his eyelid is so smooth, it's just red.
Well, I mean, if you are the like, if I'm gonna defend his makeup scar because I like to play devil's advocate,
Hmm.
his dad could have burned him and then like immediately dissipated the heat.
That's true.
Like he is a firebender, and
And he's
they
actually,
are showing Ozai having like a soft side a little bit.
I, it's just the weirdest thing to me. This, like, I do like the guy who plays Ozai, though. I will say that. I really like
Yeah,
him.
he's really good.
I actually don't have like too many complaints about the people who play the characters. I'm gonna be honest. Like, going into it, Sokka, just looking at the pictures, I was like, he looks like fake Sokka. But
Yeah, yeah, and like even the trailer, I was like, I'm gonna hate Sokka.
yeah, and to be honest, the actual actors and actresses, I don't hate. But I there's things that I do hate about it, like UA's wig. I'm like, they could have done better on that.
They
And
did better on that in the movie. I just referenced the movie.
yeah, and that's insane. And so I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like those little things, it's not the actors or actresses' fault. Like, they don't have a say on that where they're like, hey, this looks sort of fake. Like, they're not gonna change it last minute. So, in that regard, I see why they wouldn't change that. But everyone else did amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. A lot of my notes are notes that are like kind of one for one complaints.
You can just read them off, and then if I want
No,
to,
no, I don't want to. But like, I mean, you just like brought up UA, and like, I was like really bugged that UA was a waterbender now. Like,
oh yeah,
come on. But in watching someone else's review, I have learned to love it
oh really? Why?
because when the moon is killed and all the water bending goes away, she can still bend because she has part of the moon spirit in her. It's like a little small foreshadow.
Oh, well, that's actually pretty
That's
cool.
pretty cool, huh? Like
That's pretty
when you like
cool.
break it down like that, I'm like, okay, okay. You can make your ice cream, I guess.
Which, by the way, Preston was like, "Oh my gosh, that looks so good," and I was like, "That's not in the cartoon, but cool that you like it."
Well, I can get behind that one. I'm like, yes, this is a proper use of bending.
Yeah, like Preston, it was super funny. He was like, "So what do firebenders have?" Because, like, spoiler alert, waterbenders have blood bending, earthbending have metal bending, and then fire or earthbenders will eventually have lava bending. And I was
You
like,
just
well,
said
I
earth
guess,
bending twice,
well, earthbending will have lava bending.
and they have metal bending. You did it
Oh
twice.
yeah,
I'm
oh yeah. And then waterbending has blood bending, and then airbenders, they can like suck out the breath of somebody. And he was like, but well, like, what do firebenders have? And I was like, I guess they have lightning. So, I mean, in theory, I guess they could like control the electrical waves of somebody, but I think that's just too far, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if we are getting into like the physiology of stuff, I've always thought like if a firebender could latch on, so you've got basically like a battery inside your heart.
Hmm.
It just like shocks your heart, and that's why it pulses. Like if you could latch onto that, done.
Yeah, but I feel like there's like a line that the creators have drawn that's like, this is a little too far.
Yeah, well, the other thing about firebenders though is they can create their flame out of nothing.
Yeah,
So like their element doesn't have to be present.
that's true. That is true. Um, Something else that I wish we would have seen more of was May and Tylee. I mean, if they were going to show Azula, like they showed May with her knives, why didn't she just throw it? They were practicing archery.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of bugged that they were even there. Like I've been saying, like we could have allocated that time to like actual book one stuff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I wonder if they would smush season 2 and season 3 together.
Oh, that actually might be a reason why they are putting so much into season one too.
Because I mean, if I were the writers, I think Oppo getting lost, I would just smush it into like a half an episode, maybe like if that is a full episode, then whatever. But like, I think that was like a huge chunk of the middle of season 2. So they find Toph, then they go into the Appa the lost episodes. Then Zuko and Azula, attack Aang. Katara is able to revive him. Then Aang goes into the Fire Nation, and I think I would stop. I don't know if I would stop just before Zuko starts to join them, but like I'd stop pretty close to that.
They got to do 3 books.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd follow the main line though.
I mean, they still can. Like, so, like, what did they bring in? The things they brought in is just like the introduction of Azula, and then Secret Tunnel, and I guess Wan Shi Tong is in the spirit world, so they probably won't do the library, which kind of bugs me.
Well, maybe they will, but maybe he'll just like be there again.
Well, okay, but not just Wan Shi Tong, but did you watch the after credits for the last episode?
No.
It shows the comet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they put the little sun machine as part of the Fire Nation. It's not in the library anymore. So I think they're just getting rid of the library,
Hmm.
which is kind of a bummer. That's a really good episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it just doesn't like I wonder if it just doesn't translate well to live action, because most of the time it's
It
dialogue.
does. Like, you can't say that. Like, like if you took book one and did it one for one, 20 episodes, half hour each,
Hmm.
it would be fine. Everyone would love it, but they're trying to do it in a different way. And like at the end of the day, there's a reason that the creators of the cartoon left.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even agree with it.
Well, also the creators, I think I also am curious the creators left because I know that they're helping out with Dragon Prince and that's entering its sixth season. And then you have the new Avatar series and the Adult Aang series. So I wonder if like all of which are being released on Netflix. So I don't think it's Netflix that they have a problem with. I genuinely think that they are like time constraint and they are probably like, you know what? You guys aren't going to listen to us anyway, so we'll just give it over to you.
They might have given them all these other things to get them off of the project because like they said they left over creative differences.
Oh, they might have. Interesting.
Also, the only episodes that they actually have credit on or like that they helped on are episodes 1 and 6. and 6 is The Mask. So like arguably the two best episodes. Those are the two that they helped out with. So if they
Yeah, that
had
was a good
stuck
one.
with the entire project, okay, I know we've already kind of talked about Hey Bye, but like I just want to go back to it because it's like look at it from just like a writer's perspective, just like you're telling a story, right? The Hey Bye episode makes no sense as a story. Like Hey Bye is mad because the forest is burning. So he
Mm-hmm.
starts stealing people from the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So then Aang goes to talk to Hei Bei, but he doesn't get a chance to talk to Hei Bei. And then Sokka and Katara get lost in the fog and get stolen by Ko. So then he has to. Now they're just like creating a scenario for him to have to go and talk to Roku, which is to like get some freaking action figure of Ko's mom. To then like now Ko is gonna like keep his word on that and like just release everybody. And like, why does Ko have everybody instead of Hei Bei? Like, why did Hei Bei even bring them into the spirit world? It just became an episode of like it became its own filler episode.
You
That
know, it'd be pretty.
episode doesn't need to exist.
That's true. Just to play devil's advocate slash also sort of hope for it. It would sort of be cool if that action figure came into play in like the third book
How would it come into play though?
because Ko's mom switched Zuko's mom's face. And I wonder if
So
like
you think they're going to bring the search into live action at the same time?
it would make sense if they want to like add things to the series that isn't in the cartoon. That would be one thing. That would be something that would like maybe fans would be okay with maybe seeing that played out rather than just a book because I think a lot of people were upset that like I think a lot of people wanted a cartoon of the search. And at that point they were like, "Nah, we're sort of done. Like we're just going to leave it as is." So, I don't know, that'd be interesting. It'd be cool if they were able to bring that back in.
Okay. I just had an idea of how I think they could have added to Avatar without changing the story, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone would have lost their shiz. Okay.
What? What? Tell me.
Okay, so he has queso cheese. He like combines with Kiyoshi at Kiyoshi Island, right? And that's a super boss scene, which like honestly just amped me up for when it was supposed to happen with Roku,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen with Roku.
Mm-hmm.
So then if they had had him combine with Roku, just keep that normal. That would have been dope. So Kiyoshi adds to it. Roku is normal and should have happened, but then he also could have like combined with Karuk in the north because we've never seen Karuk like as an avatar except for that 1 2 second scene where he just rides a wave.
Yeah.
Like he could have combined with Karuk and like it could have like Karuk could have been like, oh, like I can't like do it kind of thing. But like he could have been like Karuk for just like a couple seconds, which would have been dope. And then like have the rest of just like the regular, he becomes Koizilla.
Yeah.
Like if they had him combine with all of the avatars, that would have been cool. Like become those avatars.
That would be pretty cool. You know what? One thing I did want to say to you specifically, because I was like, oh, this is so I was like, I don't know if I love that. When he merges with the ocean spirit and he gets up in like almost like a mini iceberg in the middle of the Koizilla, they play The Greatest Change from Korra
I did
when
notice that.
yes, see, and I was like, that doesn't go with that moment, and there is no change happening here. I was like, what the heck?
What the heck? You want to know what I noticed?
Nah,
Koizilla was freaking getting hit with all the fireballs. It's like, brrr, like falling back. That doesn't make any sense. It's
it's
just
water.
water.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Like it's
I was
way
like,
cooler in the cartoon. They're launching them, and Koizilla just goes and blocks all of it. just absorbs it with his arm, and then goes out and just bomb, get out of here.
Well, I told Preston I was like, yeah, one of my things so far that I'm not loving is in the first season, Aang was practicing waterbending with Katara.
Yes, 100%. I have my own theory on this. You can
And
go keep going with
well,
what you're saying.
I told Preston, I was like, one of the things that really irritates me with that is like there's this idea of push and pull, right? Like, and it's huge and it plays a major part in the last episode. I was like, it's not just the moon and the ocean that's the push and the pull. Something else is like when he's the Koizilla, he pushes and he pulls the waves, and it's like a minor detail, but it's there the whole season. So that's why I was like, excuse me,
Yeah.
where is the push and the pull?
Well, I mean, the other thing though is it's not book one water. They were doing different elements behind each.
Yeah, I did like that the intros how they switched depending
I
on what
didn't like that.
nation.
It should have been water the entire time. It's book one water. Aang should be
Yeah,
learning water. But what did we get? We got a little boy who never once water bends unless he's in the avatar state.
yeah. What's your theory? You said you had a theory.
My theory, and as far as I can tell, I'm the only one who's come up with this theory so far. Okay.
Okay.
My theory is that Aang is not going to actually master all four, but he's going to have friends. So it's going to be Aang and his friends that are the masters of all four. So, an example, when he goes to fight the ship, Katara is with him and doing the waterbending portion of it. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's then going to get Toph, and she's going to be the rock. And then he's going to get Zuko, and he's going to be the fire. I think Aang is just going to kind of forego it because there's such a theme of like, my friends will help me. I can do it with my friends, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's literally just getting his friends for it.
Interesting. Honestly, at this point, if Netflix releases a second book, I of course will watch it. I feel like the further we go, the more critical I'm gonna be. I feel like the more feedback they're gonna get. And I I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. To be honest, like I did like certain cinematic elements, like the bending portion of it was actually pretty good. Like when
Yeah.
Azula starts to do lightning, I was like, that's pretty cool when she does like a hand swirl or whatever. Like who's ever choreographing that, you guys are doing amazing. Keep doing that. But like, I wish I would capitalize on that. If it's so good, then make it a huge portion, you know? Like just keep working at that.
Yeah. The
Um,
CG's great.
yeah, yeah. Just a quick side story. And I wanted to bring this up to you, just like a quick like Avatar The Last Airbender adjacent. Have you seen the thing going around where they're comparing Avatar The Last Airbender episodes to Percy Jackson episodes because they have the same exact budget?
No, I have not seen that.
So per episode, they were able to spend 15 million. So 15 million episode on Percy Jackson versus 15 million an episode on Avatar The Last Airbender. And
Interesting.
people are like, this is why Disney isn't good at the shows. They don't know how to work their budget. They don't know how to make it good. And seeing those two shows side by side, I'm gonna be honest, like Percy Jackson's my expectation was pretty low anyway, but I'd want it to get better, right? And then this one, my expectation was like high, and I didn't hit it, but that's because my expectation was high. But in terms of like cinematography, it did just fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an interesting like tidbit.
Yeah. Ugh. Overall, it is good though.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I would recommend it too. Like, I mean, if you've got Netflix, I wouldn't say go sign up for Netflix for it. But if
Mm-mm.
you've got Netflix, definitely watch it.
I'd actually say, and now this might be a little bit blasphemy. If you're an adult who hasn't seen it, I would say the live action would probably be more appealing than the cartoon. And then watch season 2 of the cartoon because then you're in it.
No, I would say then start with season one. So then you can like because they're lore dumping on you. So
Hmm.
then if you're already if you're interested in the story after watching the live action, you'll be interested rewatching the cartoon. It's kind of like what
Yeah.
happened to us with the movie because we watched
Yeah,
the movie
true.
first and we're like, wow, this is really cool. Maybe we should actually go and watch the cartoon.
Hmm.
And then we did, and now we hate the movie.
Yeah, but I would say the live action sits pretty well in the middle.
Yeah, but I mean, it could have been better.
It could have been better, but
Like, what's
honestly,
up with Zhao? Like, why is he just like this weird little weasel guy instead of like what he was in the cartoon? He was like a BA dude in the cartoon.
I have no idea. Honestly, the actor who plays him, I feel like exudes him. I wonder if his stature was just small.
No, it's not even that. It's that he's like they're like, "Oh, did you know it took him 3 times to pass his captain's test?" And like he's just like trying to climb this social ladder, which like he does that in the cartoon, but it's like way more grandiose. Like I mean, the dude who voices him is Lucius Malfoy, and like
What? I didn't know that. That's actually sort of cool.
yeah, so it's Jason Isaacs. So he when he in the cartoon is playing him, like he kind of has just like the oh nice.
Thank you.
He has like the confidence of Lucius Malfoy,
Hmm.
Lucius Malfoy pre like book 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting. In that case, yeah, that is weird.
yeah, but like this guy seemed more like the commander of the Southern Raiders to me, the guy that Katara fights in book 3.
Yeah. That makes, or maybe the guy who killed her mom.
That's the guy from the Southern Raiders.
Okay, we're on the same page then.
Keep up.
I will say one thing that would also really save this series for me too. Not that it's failing because I'll watch it, but it's not great.
Yeah,
One
but
thing that
given the chance, which one are you going to binge again? The cartoon or the live action?
100% makes you want to go back to the cartoon.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm excited to share it with Preston, like he's interested in it now. And I think that he wants to watch it. And I think he wants to get caught up on that. One thing that I would say though, it would be cool to integrate the voice actors somehow, sort of like how they did with the cabbages. Like that guy is the same guy who does the cabbages, but it would be sort of cool to to bring in like Mae Whitman, and like I know she's probably expensive though, but I mean not that expensive. She can't be that expensive. And like all the other voice actors, like they love the series, they all do, and so it's sort of be fun to like integrate them somehow. Yeah.
While I was watching it with Janessa, because I mentioned the Cabbage Stew tour, I mentioned I think it would be really cool if they got the original actors to come back as the Ember Island players.
You know what they should get, and I really, really want, because The Rock has contracts with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He has contracts with Netflix. I want Netflix to pull in that favor and be like, "Hey, man, we have you signed on for a TV show, and we're not going to just use you for a full TV show. We're just going to use you for this one little snippet for Top." It'd be so funny.
I think he would be better as the Boulder, though. Let's be real. He's got to be the
Oh
Boulder.
yeah, he's got to be the Boulder. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Overall, I'm excited for Toph. I'm excited for the energy that she brings into it. I
If
love that
she
they had,
will, they freaking screwed Katara's character up.
although she did cry. I was just about to say that she cried in the last episode when she was like, "Dang, we're family," and I was like, "That's the Katara spirit I like." Also, I know that they like. There's this whole thing about sexism and how like Sokka is like not sexist anymore. And then they had the thing with Grandmaster Paku, who isn't even Grandmaster Poopy Head because they never said it,
Yeah.
where the women
Also,
are
he's not
like,
even Grandpa Goo. He
I
never notices
know.
the necklace.
Yeah, what the heck? That's a huge portion is betrothal necklaces. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Also, the women, when they're just like waiting to be said yes, that they can go. I told Preston, I was like, this is like, it's got to be written by a dude because, like, if my city was under siege and I'm a waterbender and I have the ability to go and do something about it, I don't need anybody to say yes. I don't even care. I don't even care.
Yeah, you know what would be way more Katara since they got rid of the barge episode?
Hmm.
If she went and gave her speech to all the women waterbenders as like, we are powerful, we can waterbend, let's help. Like she didn't go for Master Poophead's permission. She just rallied them and then they went and did their own thing. And then like then it would be even more like impactful to have those two young waterbenders come up and be like, Master Paku sent us to help you. What do you need, Master Katara? You know?
That'd be so freaking
Because
cool.
then that's just Paku like accepting her as an equal because she just went and got all these people.
Like, could you just imagine that she's in the okay? Just to delve further into what you just illustrated really, really well. Could you just imagine if they were in the healer's hut and the healer that already talked to her and was like, "Women don't heal," right? She's given her
Women don't
speech.
fight, they heal.
Yeah, women don't fight, they heal, right? So she's given her speech, and then like a firebender comes in and Katara, or like four, let's say four. Katara takes on like three, but then one goes to hit Katara. And then the master one, like, could you just imagine, like, let me back up a bit, right? The one who Katara isn't attacking goes for like a hit and like goes to like strike, and then his hand is just frozen midair. And then it like pans over to the main lady who just said that they don't fight, and then she just goes Hwah! Right, and then the ice block just poof, and then like hits him on the chin and just goes in slow motion, right, and then they start playing that music. Oh, beautiful.
Disney.
Netflix.
We've talked before.
Netflix.
Netflix. We've talked to Disney before. You need to hire us.
Come
We may
on.
not know how exactly to do that, but we can give you the vision.
Whatever nerds you're hiring, you haven't hired us yet.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like they're not actually hiring nerds. They're
I just,
hiring people who know how to make cinema. They just need to focus group us.
yeah,
Just focus group some nerds, and then you'll have a great series.
any strong independent woman who reads a lot of fiction would have come up with exactly what I said, where they were like, I wouldn't just stand there. Like, he's not going to fight the firebenders and me. That's not on his mind. And if I just hopped in, he's not going to argue. He literally just said, Katara, I don't have time to argue this. But then he stops and argues. I'm like, come on.
Well, and like also getting rid of the whole Sokka being sexist thing, it now just makes Suki just like some weird creep.
Yeah, who fell in love with the first boy who wandered onto her island.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
just let it happen naturally. Like
Yeah.
it did. Also, with Sokka not being sexist, that's how now Katara, like it's unclear whether she burst open the iceberg or not. Because like it's literally within like the first 5 minutes of the cartoon that Katara is calling him sexist. And like then it shows her power, her accidental power, and breaks Aang out of the iceberg.
Well, also, I like the actress who plays Suki. Like, I like her vibe.
Oh yeah, I think she did great.
I just hope they find a spot for her. And I will be genuinely so upset if they don't play out the scene when she saves Toph from drowning. And Toph comes up and goes, "Oh, Sokka, my hero." And then Suki goes, it's Suki. What?
I hate to tell you, but they're not going to do that scene
Why?
because it's funny. They,
But,
I feel
oh,
like they're
but,
trying. There's been like a comment that they're like making this like Avatar for Game of Thrones fans.
oh, well, they did like throw in three cuss words. And I was like, that just doesn't fit the vibe. Like, it doesn't. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
yeah,
I'm sure I could go on to like 10 other things that I'm like, this sucked, this sucked, this sucked.
yeah. But at the end, it's still like fine.
Yeah.
Although it is,
It's no matter what.
I don't like that Katara's like I'm my own master. It's like it would have been cool if she did get a little bit of professional help because like reading your book isn't really going to do it. You know?
No. And she does get help. Like, along the way, she definitely gets help.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I hope book two is good. There are a lot of changes that I don't agree with. There are some that I loathe entirely. I'm talking about Hey Bei. But like I guess they're doing their own thing.
Well,
Also, Did you realize that they don't have any of the like animals?
Yeah.
They didn't have any turtle seals. They don't have any platypus bears.
They mentioned the penguins, but they didn't show it. I wonder if the budget of the CGI was reserved solely for the bending.
Probably that makes sense. But like, I mean, now we didn't get like Appa fighting Nyla.
Yeah. Like Appa
That's
is there,
cool.
but he's like not there.
Yeah,
Like Appa is
and
like
then
a
they
member
killed
of the team.
Momo.
Yeah, I was like, Preston was like, "Is that the way it happens in the cartoon?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, if you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. It is worth your time. Is it worth a rewatch? We'll leave that up to you.
yeah. So out of five, 3.8.
3.9.
Oh, earlier you said you'd give it more than a four.
Yeah, but I do like listening to your opinion, and we haven't really talked about it yet. So
Yeah, I will say the music is bomb.
yes,
Music and visuals are bomb. Acting is like okay. Zuko is freaking awesome,
Zuko is really good. Uncle
and
Iroh is really good.
he's a good actor, but I don't like the way they're making him out to be. He's not
He's
like he's not happy.
hmm
He needs to be happy.
hmm
But I also kind of feel like they're making this a little bit Zuko show instead of Aang show.
yeah, yeah,
But overall, it is good.
yep. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're excited to see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Wow.
Nerd.